So okay, for some of you guys that, I mean, immediately what I was picking up was kids. And it was funny that the Empress came up, and I was just like, wow, okay, so you're confirming it. For confirming it, I should have said it first, so that way I felt like I wasn't just tripping. But I know I'm not tripping. So I feel like you guys are trying to pretend. Some of you, like, this is straight after that. This may not resonate with everybody, but some of you guys are preparing for children right now, getting ready for kids, and you guys are worried about being too hard, being too disciplinary, if that makes sense. You know, like, you guys are the father, right? And Cancer's the mother, so it's understandable, right? Look at all these pages in here. Look at that. In a straight diagonal line, you have all pages. Page of Cups, Page of Wands, Page of Swords. But the High Priestess is your underlying energy. The Knight of Wands is so interesting. It's such an interesting card to have here with all this, with the High Priestess as the underlying energy. Let's see. The Four of Swords. All right, so you guys are taking some time out for yourselves to really do some recollecting, do some reflecting, like, you guys are doing some hardcore inner work right there, right? There could be even some healing. But you guys know information now. I think there's some things that you guys know, right? You have a better idea of, you're more settled in. There's not a lot of stress in regards to what you don't know. It's about what you do know and what you're what you're connected to, what you're drawn to. The High Priestess is the keeper of secrets. She's very intuitive. She knows what she knows. But if she doesn't know something, she knows that she will know it, and there's no need to worry. There's no need to stress. But there's very, very little that she doesn't know, okay? So when I see the High Priestess with all this energy, I'm getting the sense that you guys have gotten some sort of information, either for yourself, about what you want, and you're about, you know what's up, okay? Right? You're fully cool about it. Now, the heart of your reading is the Page of Wands. So you guys got a spark, a little message maybe. But for some of you guys, I really feel like this is about having more fun, enjoying life, doing things that's a little bit more carefree. Because, like I said, the Empress is never in a stressful position. I don't ever see her very stressed out. She can't have stress to be able to take in all those messages. So I feel like you're good. You're all right as far as the stress goes. You're able to have a little bit more fun. You're able to, take in a lot more ideas and, probably starting little small projects here and there, being creative again. You're getting that spark of creation, right? The Empress is also very feminine energy. So I kind of get this vibe that for a lot of you guys, you're just letting that feminine energy kind of come in to help you create things, to help get you, not to help you create things. Because I don't think, anything in our lives help, get us to do anything. We do it ourselves. So I feel like you guys being so open and, open to receiving has allowed yourself to be creative in a sense too, or start creating something or get ideas from somewhere. Because in the past, you have the Page of Cups. I feel like this is the Page of Cups. Well, the Page of Cups can be a message, because it's very similar to Sagittarius, how they had the Eight of Wands, but they had the Page of Cups in the heart of their reading, and then the Eight of Wands here. But this could have been that you guys have received a loving message from someone, or you guys, because, look at this. How is this not communication right here? Whatever this was, or whatever this is, or was, it's about getting more information now, right? I feel like you just kind of need more, you're taking in information. You're open to receiving, so you're open to receiving more information. But I feel like what you may have, what this message may be saying is that there may have to be like a go getting that information, right? But the situation too is that somebody maybe have, offered you a cup of love. Maybe you've offered love to someone else. This could be also a realization, or just like you're noticing what your heart wants, or you're just noticing that your heart is telling you something, right? There's something here that's very precious to you that you're really, really considering. Page of Cups is so precious, right? That little cup that he's holding, like, this is his first pet, right? This is a fish in it, right? This is his emotion. They're very raw. They're very sensitive. They're very, very exposed. They're very vulnerable. And I kind of feel like there's a part of you that was feeling very vulnerable here in the past. Okay, there's definitely vulnerable energy that's coming up in here, but I kind of get this feeling that now, but this vulnerable energy inspired you not to build a fortress, but to to expand on, to express it. Because the Page of Wands is expression too. So is the Knight of Wands. I feel like that, every fire energy I see has something to do with expression. Maybe I'm wrong with that, but we'll see going down the line. But I kind of feel like this is about expressing yourself. You know what you feel, and this is about like plans for the future now, for the present. You know what you feel. You have an idea, right? This is not necessarily like the full-fledged page, Ace of Cups. This is a page, right? So you're getting samples. You're getting ideas. Things are sparking. Let's see why the Page of Cups is coming up in the past, though, because I'm confused. I'm not confused. Curious. I'm curious. The Moon. Well, now I'm confused was probably the right word I used in the first place, because look at the Moon popping out like this, fam. Yeah. I think things were really confusing, but I think there was also a lot of compassion that you were giving to yourself during a time of darkness, right? I think there were some things that maybe you had doubts in, maybe some things that you weren't necessarily certain about, some things that, you were not necessarily afraid of, but, it didn't make you feel extremely uncomfortable, and you've given yourself that kind of compassion. There's a little bit of love that you found in the way along that moon path, right? Some of you guys somebody may have blocked you, or you may have blocked someone else, or there's some situation where there wasn't a lot of clarity in something that had to do with expression of the feelings, of the emotions. Okay? And I feel like that was blocked because it was... Let me see why. I want to see why. Why was the moon coming up for the page? Because that was all you were focused on. So it was interesting. So I kind of get this vibe that it was kind of intermittent. Like this blockage came up because it was all you were focused on before. Right? That's like, this is the Knight of Cups. This is someone that's focusing on their cup, focusing on, what they want. That's all they were thinking about. Very romantic, right? This person was very romantic, but this is someone that I think this is maybe someone that you may have blocked before, and now you're kind of starting communications again, or you're starting to have feelings for them, or you're thinking about them. There's some sort of connection that you feel with them, or something like that. But the moon in between the Knight of Cups and the Page of Cups has something to do with me regarding love, something that you were feeling, something that was kind of shut down, or not shut down, but kind of like the concentration of it, and maybe the adamancy about focusing on something else kind of caused a bit of a blur, and it kind of got confusing and unclear for a while, which was, in essence, maybe the blockage that you may have experienced or have done. And now it's just like accepting that love again. Maybe this love is coming back up. It's revitalizing, right? Because I feel like with the Knight coming back as a page, it's a rebirth again. It's starting over. Even like after the dust is settled, with the moon, insecurities coming up, things to like kind of fill the void of what you may want and why you haven't had it or whatever, right? Whatever dream this was here, like the moon was like, again, a blockage. It may not have been that you maybe blocked them on social media or anything like that. It could have been that this individual or maybe that you may have had some doubts or some sort of, you may have felt something, you just may not have felt right. Not about the connection, but about yourself regarding what you wanted from the connection. And it was hard to like initiate or to want it because there's some things that were missing, or some things that felt like they weren't all the way there. Like the moon usually shows, right? You don't know what you don't have in the dark because you can't see everything. So I feel like that's why the Page of Cups come. I feel like those feelings are returning. Those feelings are revitalizing because the realization of something not being clear wasn't necessarily anything unclear. Really weird. Okay, take that with a grain of salt. If it don't resonate, it's all good. But it moves you here with that Page of Cups, something that's being reborn. So that small, feeling of something that happened to be something about someone you already know, about maybe a certain desire or want that you had that maybe have been, blurred out by the moon, by, doubt and uncertainty, is now being considered again. Like, it's like, what plans have you made, or what plans are you going to make in regards to making this Page of Cups a reality? Now it's about materializing this precious item, this precious dream, this precious desire that you have here. Right? Like, I think at the same time, maybe it wasn't blurred. Maybe it just got so intense that it's in a way you may need to start small. Something went down here with that moon. And the only thing that it's giving me is the Knight of Cups. A lot of feeling, a lot of emotions, kind of had a roller coaster, and it's like starting to make more sense because it's something that you can deal with, something that you can handle, and you can definitely start going towards manifesting and putting into real terms, right? So let's go ahead. I want to see actually, why is the Page of Wands the heart of your reading? What is the Page of Wands telling us with the heart in the heart of your reading? I feel like it's inspiration or sort of some sort of spark of, you know, of gusto, right? Something that's like inspiring you guys to go for it. You know, like a dormant energy starting to, like, you know, a dormant candle caught fire finally. And it's like that fire is spreading to other candles that haven't been lit for a while. That's kind of what I'm getting the vibe of. Because it was like intense, super intense, and then now it's like it's started all over again. But it got confused with a lot of other stuff. Wow, so this card had fallen out before, but I came up with a couple other cards. It has to do with what you want to do now. It's all about deciding how you want to take on this inspiration. Right? This small spark of inspiration. What do you want to do with it? Which is why you have the Page of Cups, the Three of Cups, and, the Three of Pentacles in the present. Because it's all about what you're going to do now. What you're going to do. How you going to execute it. How you going to manifest this. How you going to make this a reality. But I feel like that's where the Page of Swords comes in, because I think you guys are still trying to get more information on this. Still trying to understand it. Some of you guys, it may be that this is about talking about it. Talking about it with someone that's significant. Just kind of coming out and being honest. But I kind of just get this feeling that it's not necessarily just honesty. Because I don't think you guys have been unhonest or dishonest. It's just that things have been confusing. And now it's like, all right, things are starting to make more sense. Things are starting to make more sense. And with the Emperor and the Empress, it's definitely having to do with somebody. I feel like it has something to do with somebody. Because you don't have the Empress and then the Emperor. And the fact that the Empress is in the hopes and fears. Like, I don't know if you want, that's what I was thinking, like, in the beginning, this has to do with wanting kids and being worried that you're going to be either too soft or too hard for your children, or, you know, are you going to be able to balance both? That's very few of you. For some of you guys, this is that you hope for the Empress because you are becoming the Emperor. You're starting to feel more in control of yourself and more in power, and you want to be able to find that person that will be able to balance you. Because the way the situation is looking, it's like you got something to offer here. It's small, but it's growing over time. You're looking and you're trying to figure out how you can expand this, how you can grow this, how can you make this offer that's in your heart that hasn't been necessarily expressed verbally, something that can be given in a way tangibly, or maybe offering something that's tangible. What is the Three of Pentacles? What are they planning here for the future? What is this? The Knight of Swords, to communicate. Look at that. Look at all these swords, man. The swords are coming out. The knights are coming out now. See, we got our pages, but we got the knights coming out. The only thing I don't see is the Pentacles energy. I don't see any Pentacles coming up other than the Three of Pentacles. That's it. Like, legitimately. And the Three of Pentacles is just like, what are you going to do about what you have here? What actions, what tangible action are you going to take to make this reality? And it has to do with going fast, moving fast, going full speed. Whatever it is that y'all are trying to plan, you guys are going really fast. You got two of the fastest knights already in the deck. But you got the world in the future. That's something to celebrate. What are we celebrating in the future? What are we celebrating here? What are we celebrating here? What is celebrating? The Seven of Cups, a dream, or the choice, or the decision. Okay. Seven of Cups. What about the Seven of Cups is being celebrated? Or why is the Seven of Cups being celebrated? There's too many cards. But there was a Seven of Pentacles and the Two of Pentacles there. And I don't really... They came out really weird, so I put them back. So... Wow. Because you didn't give up on a dream. The Five of Swords. Woo, Capricorn, what's going down? You're like, look, it looks like a pipe dream now. It looks like a little dream, but you guys never let anything, not even your own dreams, intimidate you. It can get overwhelming and intense sometimes, and it may sometimes make you feel like you lost the focus of what you were trying to do, which makes you kind of feel like you're saturated in your dream and you can't really figure out what you really want, because at the end of the day, you got like a lot of things that you're not really certain about. But I feel like it's narrowed down to something that you can actually, like, you can focus on, really focus on, and then eventually expand some more with the Three of Pentacles that you have in the present. Whatever this was in the past, I think you got saturated in it. That's all you were thinking about for a long time, and then it got kind of messy, and now it's starting to make more sense. You know, it's bringing you back. It's bringing you back to what you wanted from the very beginning, and that's why you may need more information, or maybe you're doing some research, or maybe you're doing some spying, right? You're looking at somebody, you know, I don't know. Whatever this page is, or this could be somebody spying on you. Shoot, somebody be looking into your social media. You know, because this is still external energy. This energy doesn't have to be you. It could be someone else that's going in, perhaps trying to communicate with you, being honest. Or maybe this is someone that's very, you know, that's looking in on what you're doing, which we'll go ahead and clarify in a moment. But this looks like here in the future that you guys have the world. This is success. This is completion of a cycle. And this is also celebration, because you guys have made a dream come true. Like, you did not stop. Nothing stopped you from making this dream a reality. It was uncompromising. Uncompromising on a dream. You worked very hard to make that dream a success. So your best path to follow is the Knight of Wands. Is trust your heart. Follow your instincts. I feel like the Knight of Wands is the most instinctual knight out of all of us, out of all the knights, right? You have this follow your instincts. What feels good, what doesn't feel good. Use that as a gauge, as a compass, right? Because the Knight of Wands is all he does anyway, right? That's why he gets lost, and that's why how he gets found. He just trusts his inner compass. And I feel like trusting your inner compass is one of the things that you definitely feel more able, you know, feel more comfortable doing, because all the healing that you did here with the Knight, and then, with the Four of Swords, all that healing that you did, and now you know you can trust. You trust you. You trust you more than you have in a very long time. Like, you have, yeah, I think there may be some things, perhaps some of you guys may resonate with this. Some of you guys may be still trying to get to know yourself, but I feel like you guys trust yourself so much more than you have been. You feel me? You feel me, family? So, and I feel like, too, it's like going for not only following what makes you happy and what's fun and what's enjoyable, you know, following that spark, the thing that makes you excited. I feel like it's also, you know, having fun with it, you know, letting this journey be exciting for you, you know, be having a very positive mindset with this, because I think you guys are coming at this energy really positive. You guys are coming at this situation very positively. I don't think you guys think that anything can stop you. That's the scary part, because when the Capricorns put their heads together, they cannot be stopped. That's just the situation, and y'all know this. So when you guys have your heads straight on what it is that you want, and you're excited about getting this on, no matter what the obstacles may come up, well, no matter what happens, it doesn't deter you. It excites you. It scares everybody else that happens to get in the goddamn way. So I really feel like you guys are heading in a direction where you guys actually feel like you are fulfilling something that you've been wanting to fulfill for a while with this Page of Cups. So, why is the Page of Swords coming up in the external energy? What is the Page of Swords trying to tell us within the external energy? The Nine of Cups, getting more information on what you love, on what, you know, or maybe this has to do with communicating what makes you happy. The truth on what, you know, on manifesting, or what you're trying to manifest. You may want to get more information on what you're trying to manifest, right? Like, again, like this energy of obsession. Not trying to say you're obsessed with someone or whatever, but I feel like whatever this dream is, if this is a person, if this is a career, you want to know everything about it. You want to know everything about it. The Page of Pentacles, Page of Swords is all about gaining more information. It's just all about data intake. But I feel like with the Nine of Cups coming up with that is like really getting to know your dream, getting to know, what would make you happy. So, we're just going to put these cards down for a moment. So, with your hopes and fears being the Empress, I don't feel like this has anything to do with being afraid of being vulnerable. Because you're already very vulnerable now. Like, you're okay. You're, like, really good with this. You're feeling it. You're feeling fine. It's not, I don't think it's the fear of vulnerability. I think it's really it's the hope that you find this energy here, the Empress energy. But I think you also not only want to find it, not just external of yourself, but internally. Be able to manifest physical representation of what you want, what you desire. Because how you come out is the Empress and the Emperor, right? That is this person. They're a pairing. This is a divine connection here. That is strong. That's a strong union. When you have the Empress or the Emperor or the High Priestess or the Hierophant, that's a freaking strong connection. And when it comes to love, like I think you've manifested somebody again. You manifested somebody, or you manifested someone based off of how you want to feel. And I feel like you want a utopia. You want to feel not only safe, but you want to find the person that you want to balance you out, and okay, you want to create a beautiful situation between you and another person, a beautiful circumstance in your life. You may want to have kids. You may want to have, you want to be abundant, not just financially, because I don't see no financial anything. I feel like you guys want to be abundant in happiness and stability. Because how you guys are showing up in the external energy, in the outcome rather, is the Emperor. And I think that just you saying that you're going to be a boss in this situation. You're going to make all this stuff happen. You're not going to let things get in your way. You are passionate. You have something that's sparking your drive, and you're ready to start completing a cycle in which maybe your dreams may have seemed too good to be true, but you're not going to let that too good to be true title dictate whether you have that happiness or not. You're like, it's a dream, but it's going to be real for me. And I think the reason why you have the Five of Swords instead of like something tangible or anything like that is because this is a happiness that can't necessarily be like, it doesn't have to be physical. I think it's just determination here. Determined to make a dream a reality, a truth for you. But I don't necessarily believe it's about having something. If that makes sense. It's weird. I feel like it is having to do with love in a relationship. But just getting to, like, having that spiritual connection, connecting emotionally. Let go of the old is the card that you guys get from Messenger of the Oracle. That's literally talking about cleaning house, man. That's death energy, pretty much. What doesn't work, what hasn't been working, and let that be free. That's a difficult card. It can be, because of course, right, when we're so familiar with certain things, it can be hard to adjust. But I don't think it's gonna be too hard for y'all. It's about embracing who you are now, right? Because you're not the person that you were before. You're a new individual. You're brand new. Imagine, which is all about manifesting for real. Like, imagine that you're in the place of happiness that you've been wanting to be at. Imagine that you're with the person that you want to be in. Imagine that you're having that great dream career. Imagine that you're surrounded by family. Imagine that you're having these children. It's okay to dream. But I think it's okay to dream, because what you're letting go is the part of dreaming that made you feel like you shouldn't dream.